Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our first live stream. Yeah, so welcome to the first live stream. Alright, guys. So, I just want to speak to everyone about what's going on in football today. Alright, so we all know that there are a couple teams in Europe that want to start their own, so to speak, version of the Champions League. And here at UnitedFacts TV, we're all about, positivity. We're all about growth of the sport. And today I am disappointed that our beloved club decided, to betray the sport. I mean, this is down to our owners, but it's clear that if fans was in charge of the club, this incompetence would not have occurred. Now, the topic of interest today, guys, is the fact that we have 12 teams. So these teams are Manchester City, Man United, Liverpool, Chelsea, Arsenal, and of course Tottenham. 6 teams from the Premier League. Then we have AC and Inter Milan, as well as Juventus, or Juventus as most people call it, as well as Atletico Madrid, Real Madrid, and Barcelona. So these 12 teams have, in my opinion, betrayed FIFA, betrayed UEFA, in the sense that they want to start their own league. Now, this league is called the European Super League. So guys, I just want to address this little issue that we have. So, this league, what it is now, it began with these 12 teams that I listed previously. So these are the 12 leading football clubs that are advocating for this competition. It was announced on Sky Sports and many other renowned football or soccer streaming television sites. So what this is about, they wanted to have a midweek competition of approximately 20 of the top-notch teams in Europe. Basically, it's what they want to use to replace the Champions League. So it's a league with the elites of Europe. So as I said, thus far we have the likes of Man City, Chelsea, Liverpool, Arsenal, and Tottenham who are aboard with this new format to a so-called European structure. So guys, what I'm basically saying tonight is that why is it that these teams are advocating for such a competition? Because let us remember, these are only the elites who are allowed to perform in this competition. And as such, teams like the Evertons, the Leicester Cities, they are ineligible because they are not classed as the elites. So therefore, if this is replacing the Champions League, what is it going forward for those teams like the like the Leicester Cities and the West Ham United who are performing? Guys, let us also remember as well that teams such as Sevilla in La Liga, Valencia, who from time to time give the top 3 teams challenge, they won't get an introduction to the European football. Now, for me, this is a sign of an abuse in power in the top teams. You know, like Manchester United, they are owned by a very prestigious family called the Glazers. Chelsea is owned by a wealthy businessman as well. So too Liverpool, they are owned by wealthy Americans as well. And the list goes on for the rest of those clubs. So what I'm saying tonight, guys, is that this is modern day hypocrisy, modern day it's really taking away democracy from the sport. It's implement. It's more of a business making, a money making thing than enjoying the sport we love. Guys, I don't agree with this decision, and I am on board with FIFA that if players take part in this European Super League, they won't be eligible to play for their country or anywhere else. And I agree with this because, look, for these 12 teams who are advocating for this league, they are trying to... Alright, let me break it down, guys. When we're looking like the Premier League, the teams are listed, the two Manchester clubs, Liverpool, Chelsea, Tottenham, Arsenal, and so forth. They are the clubs in the Premier League that have the majority of the fan base. So therefore, the EPL viewing will go down, because remember, guys, we should also be cognizant that when we are playing this league, the Super League, majority of these fans will want to pay more attention to the team that they are fans of. So therefore, it takes away a lot of attention from the likes of Premier League, for example, guys. So I am not happy with what these clubs are portraying to the world. It's not portraying togetherness. It's not portraying growth in the sport, as I said. I don't know what to say really, guys, because football is a sport where we come together, we learn a lot of things, guys. We build friendships, we build bonds, guys, and we also pick out talents from various areas in the world. You know, right now I see all of that going down the drain. Players from South America who have been in a home with one bedroom, one bathroom, or even no bathroom. You know, I'm not seeing development in the sense that, you know, the recruiting system will be only be limited to these elite clubs. You know, so what I'm saying, guys, the likes of, as I said, Leicester City, they will no longer have the Tielemans, the Ndidi, the Jamie Vardys anymore. All of those players will be purchased by these elite teams, because if this Super League is gets the go ahead from FIFA or the governing body for football, therefore for these clubs to compete, that means that they will also want to tank up so they can be one of the colossals or the victors of this Super League, guys. Now, there's a trend here as well, you know, because if you look at most of these club owners, most of them are American, and I'm not blaming America now, but what I'm saying, you know, it seems as though they are trying to emulate the sports system of the likes of the US sporting organization. Let us talk about the NBA, guys. No team gets relegated from the NBA. And yes, NBA is a very attractive sport. It's an attractive competition, and myself as well enjoys watching the NBA. But when you look at it on a different perspective, where Possibly you have a young budding business-minded person who aspires to establish his basketball franchise. He cannot put that dream into a reality because the NBA only facilitates for the teams that are already in the competition. So what I'm saying to you guys is that the European Super League is trying to emulate that similar format, and it's unfair because remember now guys, over the years there have been countless number of football teams. You have League One that has different divisions, and teams get relegated, and when those teams get relegated, new teams are promoted. And guys, it facilitates growth when a team is promoted from a lower division, and possibly they can impact that league by putting in good performances. And guys, let us talk about Leicester City again, because I'm mostly familiar with the Premier League. Guys, Leicester City was a team that they were once in the Premier League a few years back, but they recently, when I say recently, in the last 8 or so years, between 8 and 9 years ago, they got back into the Premier League, guys, and they were nobody, so to speak. And a few years after they got promoted, they won the Premier League. And since then, up until now, they have been strong competitors to the top-notch teams in the Premier League. Now, they are battling for Champions League spots. What is that going to... How is it that Leicester fans are going to feel, as well as the players? Say, for instance, this competition was supposed to begin tomorrow, or by the end of this season. What will Leicester fans do? What will the players do? Remember now, guys, it's not like these players will have the privilege to go to these so-called elite clubs now, because at this time, a lot of clubs are suffering financially. Yes, it is deemed that this format was created because of the financial crisis. But when we look at it, guys, it's only facilitating, it's only improving the likes of those so-called elite clubs. For crying out loud, why is Arsenal being considered one of the elite clubs? They are a mid-table team for the past 3 years now in the Premier League. They have no say. Probably when you look at how rich the club is, well, they probably have power in that sense. But performance-wise, they don't deserve to even be considered part of the elite, the European Super League, guys. Tottenham, they have a case, yes. They have been competitive over the years, but they are not consistent in terms of how they compete against the top 4, top 5 teams in England. Now let's go to Spain. La Liga was, when Cristiano and Messi was in La Liga, that was one of the most watched leagues. Why? Because when Cristiano plays, everybody wants to watch him. When Messi plays, everybody wants to watch him. But since Cristiano went to Syria, La Liga's views went down significantly. So, guys, there's a lot of things at stake here, and there's a lot of things that will take away from this competition being established. Now, you guys, I know there will be some people who are for this competition, but I just want to put this in your minds, guys. Think about all the championship clubs in England who aspire to be Premier League clubs. Think about even the clubs in France, in Germany, who wants to aspire to play in Bundesliga and the League One in France. Think about all these teams who are coming up the ranks and who aspire one day to win a Champions League and to win one of their domestic leagues. What is this going to do for their development? And also, new entrepreneurs who establish these teams or buy out these teams, they don't have the tools, they don't have the resources now to better the club, better the situation, and to make the fans happy of those clubs. Because why? All of these elite, so to speak, teams have taken away that joy from the fans and from the business owners and from everybody who wants to see these clubs succeed, guys. Now, as of now, FIFA is against it, but I can guarantee you guys this. If more teams get on board, because remember guys, it's all of these clubs influence the decision of FIFA as well. If all the clubs, or majority of the clubs across Europe, are for this competition, this is a very, very, very bad thing to happen if all of these clubs decide that, hey, I want to be a part of this European elite or this European Super League. But what is this going to say? What is this going to mean, sorry? What does this mean? I can say this to you guys. I personally don't agree with it because the sport on a whole won't develop. Let us not talk about Europe now. Let us talk about even the Caribbean. It will be even harder for persons in the Caribbean, in South America, and in various other areas in the world to develop as a footballer. Because if the main area that football is being played, or the main area that everyone wants to get, is this European Elite Cup or whatever it's called, it's what? The European Super League, sorry. If everyone aspires to play there, it will be difficult for these players. I remember one of a YouTuber as well that I watch sometimes on United Stand. He said earlier today that it's going to emulate how the NBA operates. I said that previously as well. But what I'm saying, guys, this new format, probably I'm repeating myself, but this new format, it's not the best way to go in European football. And look, we can talk about even the history of these teams who wants to go into this European Super League. Remember now, the conditions that these teams will have to face if they should start this league, FIFA will ban them from their domestic leagues, You get what I'm saying? So if this competition is supposed to get the thumbs up, these teams are banned from their domestic leagues. So one, viewership will go down in those various domestic leagues. Two, players will get banned from playing for their countries, and we don't want that. Three, other things that can happen. The sport don't develop. People will fall in love would fall out of love with football as well. Now guys, I don't know as to what will happen in the coming weeks. I don't know if the likes of PSG will get on board, because these 12 teams were just the main forerunners of this league. Now, if we see all of the top clubs advocating for this league to happen, you know that the likes of PSG and Bayern will be forced to join this train. And then thereafter, other teams who are classified as semi-elite, because remember, that's 2 teams out of the 20 that they need. So thus far, it's 12 teams. And if PSG and Bayern are added to that list, that's 14. So therefore, we're still missing 6 teams. So therefore, this is a very big statement by all of our beloved clubs. But trust me, if the decision is to go through with this Super League, I won't be watching football anymore. Sorry to say, I still will be making videos, but probably not the way that I would like, because the joy of watching the sport won't be there anymore. The growth that I would see in certain players that I watch, some of them won't have any more growth because they are not able to play in the best of competitions, guys. Now, tell me what you guys think, in the comment section. What is it that... Okay, so Cashmatic, yeah, in the comment section said that they are greedy, and I agree, because if you look at the owners of Arsenal, the owners of even Tottenham, Manchester United's owners, they are all stingy with their investment in these clubs. So now that pierces the question in my mind. Why is it that they're so for this and they don't really invest in their clubs that much? For crying out loud, the Manchester United owners, they mostly invest in their NFL team, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And Manchester United have been crying out for certain players, have been getting third choice players, etc. So for me, I don't think there's going to be much of a difference. Alright, what I think will happen is that clubs like Manchester United, they'll get more viewership, so more money in the owners' pockets, right? And more sponsors as well, so more money. And then remember now, none of these teams can really get relegated, so therefore it's a win-win situation for them. So Cash, good point, agree with you, boy. Look what football is going to, guys. Well, guys, I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'll be going live again. I'll be doing more research and other topics in football and for Manchester United. I'll be talking about possible transfers that we would love to see at the end of the season. I don't want to keep this negative energy anymore, guys. So, thanks for tuning in, the few persons who tuned in tonight. So, we're going to move on from this now. So, I started with the Super League now. I want to just highlight two things before I close, guys. I think the mere fact that Manchester United also, why they have been so linked with Harry Kane and Erling Haaland as so-called priority signings, is because they're probably citing joining this league. But nonetheless, in all honesty, guys, I think Manchester United should give Cavani an extension, encourage him. They forked out money for the likes of Alexis Sanchez and Angel Di Maria just for them to come and play for the club. But Cavani is actually doing a tremendous job here. So I think that they need to renew his contract. But I'll get more into detail in that tomorrow, guys. Thanks for watching.